All right, Weasel, use Sonic Boom!
Grab Weasel's tail!
And that Sonic Boom misfires, and Weasel is now locked in Drapion's grip.
Drapion's strong. What am I gonna do? Yeah! Inflate your flotation sack, quick! Now use water gun!
Success! Weasel escapes!
Awesome! Great job, Weasel!
It's only because Ash knows Weasel so well that Weasel escaped. Impressive.
Oh,
I can't believe how incredible that was!
That escape was 100% Ash.
Flotation sacks are convenient.
I could use one of those!
He thinks his opponent was taken aback. Perhaps.
Yes or not!
Toxic spikes!
And Toxic Spikes spreads across the battlefield.
Paul just did an excellent job of countering.
no way!
The toxin permeates Weasel's entire body.
Pin missile!
It's a quick pin missile by Drapion.
Weasel, no!
Weasel is unable to battle. Drapion wins!
And Ash is down one Pokemon.
An attack with attitude.
At long last, the twerp is a Pokemon short.
But the jury's still out on who's gonna win! Toxic Spikes will stay on the field for a long time, which is not a good thing!
It's as if Paul knew that Ash would somehow be able to get Weasel to escape. It was at the precise moment when Weasel escaped that Paul knew he had an opening. Which, of course, is exactly what Paul was aiming for all along.
All right, Weasel, return! You really did an awesome job. Now, Staraptor, I choose you!
Well, that makes sense. Ash is afraid of the effects of the Toxic Spikes.
No problem with Staraptor in the air.
Staraptor, careful of Drapion's tail!
Pin missile!
Dodge it!
Staraptor successfully dodges that pin missile. And so far, Staraptor seems unaffected by any damage it's already taken.
Staraptor, use Aerial Ace!
Prepare to intercept. We've got us a head-to-head showdown.
Let's go! Break free, Staraptor!
Cross poison!
A combination of cross poison and toxic spikes forms a massive assault.
Staraptor is unable to battle. Drapion wins!
And Ash is now down 2 Pokemon, leaving both sides with 4 Pokemon left.
All right, Staraptor, return! Thanks for battling so hard, Staraptor. You're the best!
That Drapion is one tough cookie.
And Staraptor tried so hard.
Ash is at a tight spot.
Now, Torterra, I choose you!
I thought so. Ash should not have done that. That's what Paul wants.
That poison's petrifying.
Mega Yikes Toxic Spikes! The twerp's tricks have been tapped out!
If only Ash had a poison-type Pokemon, then the two would cancel each other out and the toxic spikes would be completely eliminated.
Is that true?
Drapion, cross poison now!
Energy Ball! Torterra, Leaf Storm!
Pin missile!
That Paul's something else, isn't he?
Torterra, Rock Line!
Intercept!
A ferocious rock climb attack is completely blocked by Drapion.
How to do that?
Poison Fang!
Torterra!
That was one powerful poison fang.
Torterra, Synthesis, let's go!
That was a good call since Torterra could use a little re-energizing.
Time for a counterattack!
Pin missile!
Torterra, no!
After an overwhelming pin missile attack like that, what's happened to Torterra?
Torterra is unable to battle. Drapion wins!
Drapions looking awfully strong indeed, while Ash suddenly finds himself down to 3 Pokemon.
Taking Torterra out right after it used Synthesis was a really bad break.
It was almost like Paul was waiting for Torterra to recover.
Paul was waiting, all right.
Huh?
Waiting for the perfect moment to strike, and also the perfect moment to destroy Ash's confidence.
Torterra, return! You gave it everything you've got. Thanks. Now get a good rest.
You've still got your Gliscor left, don't you?
Right!
I've got your battling style figured out, thanks to Aggron and Gastrodon.
What?
I purposely let you take out Aggron and Gastrodon so I could be certain of your strategy and exactly which Pokemon you'd use.
Purposely?
Ever since I brought out Drapion, I've been able to predict every one of your moves. Huh?
Paul, there's nobody like you. That's why I'm gonna win this!
It's the other way around. I'm leaving you way behind.
We'll just see about that! Gliscor, I choose you!
And Ash goes with his 6th Pokemon, Gliscor, obviously careful to avoid toxic spikes.
Ninjask, stand by for battle!
Well, it's going to be air-to-air combat as Paul's chosen Pokemon is Ninjask.
Ninjask, the ninja Pokemon, and the evolved form of Nincada. Because of its swift flying velocity, it can become impossible to see.
Use agility!
Unbelievable speed! And on top of agility, Ninjask's using its speed boost ability to kick it up even further.
Stop! Just relax and use Stone Edge! Gliscor can't get in with Ninjask's speed!
Fury Cutter!
Quick! Gliscor, get close and use Fire Fang! Oh no! Oh no! Gliscor!
And it's big trouble for Gliscor, taking lots of damage from toxic spikes.
Gliscor, return! Rest up. I promise you'll have a chance to pay them back.
After all that training, it's such a shame.
Looks like Paul's really running the show now.
Yeah.
Infernape! I choose you!
Infernape takes toxic spikes damage as well.
A toxic rerun! And I hate reruns!
Fortitude, Infernape!
I've got to stop those toxic spikes, but I'd have to turn the whole battlefield upside down to do it! Yeah, upside down! Let's do it! Now, Infernape, dig!
But how can Dig affect a flying Pokemon like Ninjask?
What's the deal? Did Ash just lose it and call the wrong move?
I'm sure he's got a plan.
You're right, of course, but what's he up to?
At the moment, Paul's unable to do anything. He can't see what Infernape's up to.
Infernape, Flare Blitz, go!
Wow! It appears Infernape's creating an underground Flare Blitz.
No!
And the erupting Flame Blast blows Ninjask away. While the flames are consuming the toxic spikes on the battlefield one by one.
Great job, Infernape!
Oh, I didn't know you could do that!
Yes, that means Ash can still turn this battle around.
When it comes to controlling the battlefield, Ash really knows what he's doing. Paul can try to shake him up all he wants, but Ash is Ash.
Twimp or no Twimp, we don't care! Infernape rules and we are there! Groovy Twimp, beware!
I never would have predicted that move. Not in a million years.
Well, Paul, that takes care of your toxic spikes!
It was a pretty clever move, Ash.
Bring it on!
Giga Drain!
And Ninjask attempts to confuse Infernape with some of that impressive speed.
Now what?
Ninjask's not moving as fast!
It looks to me like Ninjask's not able to use Speed Boost anymore.
It's slower, all right.
It must be because of all the damage Ninjask took from that Flare Blitz.
Ninjask's Giga Drain is sucking the power out of Infernape.
Infernape, keep a close eye on Ninjask!
Can Infernape keep track of Ninjask's movements?
Now use Mud Punch!
Ninjask is unable to battle. Infernape is the winner! And Infernape's Mach Punch puts an end to Ninjask's speedy spinning. And both sides have just 3 Pokemon remaining, turning this bout into a serious battle of strategies.
Now everything's even.
Wow, we've got us a battle!
Though Ash can't afford to relax with all the damage Infernape's taken.
Infernape, return and take a break for now!
Frostlass, stand by for battle!
An Ice-type Pokemon.
Vegas!
Okay, Pikachu, you're up!
And Paul's fifth Pokemon is Frostlass.
Now, Frostlass, use Hail!
What's that?
Pikachu's bewildered by the haunting movements of this ghost-type Pokemon.
Man, I can't keep track.
Whoa, Frostlass is appearing and disappearing like a ghost.
That's its special ability called Snow Cloak. Adding in the effects of hail, it makes it difficult to aim.
Be careful, Pikachu! Pikachu, Thunderbolt, let's go! Uh-oh, Thunderbolt's not doing a thing!
Pikachu's Thunderbolt can't seem to find its mark, as Frostlass is being completely protected by that falling hail.
Use Ice Shard!
Pikachu, dodge it quick!
And that Ice Shard scores a clean hit.
Pikachu, no!
That did a lot of damage.
Ash had better do something because this is turning into a one-sided battle and fast.
Let's go, Pikachu! All right, that's it! Pikachu, ball tackle now!
Pathetic.
And Frostlass dodges that Volt Tackle. It's beginning to look like Frostlass's Snow Cloak ability and its many ghost-like movements have got Ash and Pikachu totally confused.
Pikachu, behind you!
Use Ice Shard one more time!
Jump and use Iron Tail, Pikachu!
And it's a nice dodge of that Ice Shard by Pikachu.
Do it!
And a tremendous hit from Iron Tail means Frostlass has taken a lot of damage. And with all of that damage, Hail has cleared right up.
Yes! Well, Pikachu's the best!
Pikachu's Iron Tail wiped out the hail effect.
All I can say is if Ash did that on purpose, he'd be incredible.
Frostlass, Ice Beam!
Frostlass counter-strikes with a powerful Ice Beam that has Pikachu trapped and unable to move.
Pikachu, you've got to jump out of there!
Pikachu is unable to escape while that Ice Beam's additional freezing effect is doing its job.
Pikachu, hurry up and get out of there!
Now, Frostlass, Ice Shard!
Use Full Tackle and smash your way out!
Frostlass is unable to battle. Pikachu gets the win.
Awesome, Pikachu! Are you okay? Wow, those two did it!
I was really worried there for a while. Good thing Pikachu's awesomely strong.
But Paul still has 2 Pokemon left. And one of them hasn't even battled yet. Ash's Pokemon have all taken damage. And that can only mean one thing. Ash is still operating at a disadvantage.
I need to take a nap. Tussling twebs exhaust me.
I need to take a pause for the cause.
Yes!
I'm a puppet juggler.
Well, since we know you, we'll charge you triple.
Come on and take a break, Pikachu.
And while Ash calls Pikachu back, Paul still has 2 Pokemon remaining. On tap, the choices for their next Pokemon.
Drapion, stand by for battle!
Gliscor! I choose you!
Gliscor looks a bit shaken, obviously still reeling from that previous bout with Ninjask.
Gliscor, let's see what you learned from your training with the Air Battle Master. You ready? I know Drapion's battling style by now, and the only one who can turn the tables on Paul is Gliscor.
Pin Missile!
Gliscor, up!
Gliscor's airborne, and that Pit Missile misses its target.
Gliscor can dodge pit missiles all day long, but if it gets in close for a Fire Fang or X-Scissor attack, it'll get caught in Drapion's grip.
All right, Gliscor, Stone Edge, let's go!
Frost Poison, now!
Drapion's Cross Poison and Gliscor's Stone Edge are destroyed in a huge collision.
Gliscor, Giga Impact, go! Wow, Giga Impact, there it is!
And Gliscor is hidden from the smoke, so where will that attack come from?
Above you, use Poison Fang! Wake
That's the way to beat an air battle.
Yeah, Gliscor's training is really paying off.
Right, and you can thank the Air Battle Master. Now Gliscor's safe even after not being able to move right after using Giga Impact.
Gliscor's been training really hard.
I've got to admit that Gliscor and Ash together are just too awesome for words.
This had to have been a surprise for Paul. Whoever wins this thing is anyone's guess now. I know Paul can't predict Ash's battle strategy now. What'll he do?
Well done. That Stone Edge got my attention all right. So, Pin Missile!
All right, X-Scissor now!
And Gliscor is on the move once again, fearlessly flying straight into that oncoming Pit Missile.
And so, if you think the